everyone, and welcome. In this video, I will be talking about my 1901 pick, The First Men in the Moon by H.G. Wells. Surprisingly, I enjoyed this book, which I did not know if I would or not. I just knew the author H.G. Wells, even though I don't believe I have read any of his books before, and that kind of led me to pick this title. This book has made me curious about H.G. Wells and his other books and is leading me to want to make a feature video on his work. So let's say this video gets at least 25 likes. I'll do a video on H.G. Wells and read most of his works. I won't say all because there is a ton of H.G. Wells books and short stories which I know I probably will not be able to get to that in a time frame to make a video about all of it. And so if you would like to see a video about H.G. Wells' work and what I thought, please give a like. Back to The Men in the Moon. It centers around two men, Bedford and Cavour. Bedford is a businessman and Cavour a scientist. They kind of like yin and yang each other throughout the book with their different viewpoints. Bedford being more money-driven and Cavour more knowledge-driven. Their personality on their shared goal, which is Cavorite, even though they have different reasons for wanting Cavorite to be made and used in the world, they work together and make it happen, and for that journey you really get their characters sorted out. I really enjoyed John Banks' narration on Audible and how the character's personality shines through in his voice. While actually reading it was enjoyable, I looked forward to the Audible version and how it was narrated. I love it when you find an Audible book and are looking for mainly plot and come away with loving a narrator as well. I was looking into John Banks and he has a ton of books that he has narrated for, and I might look into them because I really enjoyed listening to this more than I thought I would. I did watch the 1964 movie for The First Men in the Moon, and like most movies, the book was better. They added an unnecessary character, and it takes place in the 1960s, and it has Bedford as an elderly man, and no one believed that he went to the moon. And it was an interesting take on the book, but it definitely does not compare to how the book is. Anyways, another thing I enjoyed is how H.G. Wells had some accurate points in his story about space. For that time, space was like a big unknown then. So him having how weightlessness would affect a human body and how time would be different on the moon and all that is pretty amazing how he put that into the story. This book is just amazing. As someone who enjoys science fiction, it's nice to look back on some of the foundations of science fiction to see how it has evolved. A lot of sci-fi nowadays has a lot to do with space colonization, and it seems like such a far away and nearly impossible thing. Well, in 1901, going to the moon was their far away impossibility. Another thing that makes this book great, Selenites. They are not your typical alien. Think of humanoid insects, maybe ants that are bipedal. They are intelligent and each has a specific role to play in their society. Wells goes into great detail about them, but you are still left wondering more. They are peaceful, smart, all are born for a specific role and ruled under one ruler. It's a very organized civilization and everyone does their part. Individual expression goes only so far as the skill set they are born into, and so unlike humans, they don't question themselves or their roles. It's a society hard to imagine because as humans we all have the ability to have free thought. And from the way the Selenites are described in the book, their free thought is limited and useless. Their whole world is united as one, under one ruler, and it seems it always has been under one ruler. It's a hard thing to imagine, but they all just put their trust into this way of living. It makes me imagine if there ever is any anomaly in their world where a Selenite gets free thought and questions their way and what happened to them. But it's just a book, and that question is about a non existent society, so I guess I'll never know for sure, even though my guess is it wouldn't be something good. So far, out of my Books for the Years challenge, I have enjoyed this one the most. But this is only my second book, and I have so many more to read. My next book is The Virginian by Owen Wister and The Call of the Wild by Jack London. And so there's my thoughts on The First Men in the Moon. I really recommend this to anyone who is interested in science fiction and space travel. I want to thank you for watching, and please like, comment, and subscribe, and look out for future videos. And until next time, see ya!